I've had some strange conversations in my life, but nothing quite like the one I've been having with my dad lately. And trust me, my dad is an incredible man. He's been a Christian for nearly 50 years, half a century of waking up every day with the intention of serving people. I grew up watching him give himself completely to his work and his community. The man built up a construction business from nothing and ran it for 35 years. And during all that time, he managed to pick up a small empire of rental properties, all paid off, all maintained with the kind of care only someone with a servant's heart would give. If a tenant was having a tough time, he'd work with them. If someone needed a place but couldn't afford what the market demanded, he'd find a way to make it happen. That's just who he is. But somewhere along the way, as he got older, he became more and more convinced of one thing, that the Lord would return before he dies. And because of that, he believes wholeheartedly that he doesn't need a will. No estate plan. No instructions. Nothing in writing. Just the confidence that he'll never actually die. And that's where things get complicated for me. I'm not trying to test his faith. I'm not trying to argue theology with the man who raised me. All I want is a way to talk to him without sounding like I'm doubting everything he believes. Because, honestly, I'm not. I just also live in a world where paperwork exists, and probate courts exist, and siblings exist, and in my case, there are 10 of us. 10. Imagine 10 people, plus their spouses, plus cousins, plus that one extended family member who thinks they're owed something because they once helped paint a fence in 1997. And then imagine all of them trying to divide up a bunch of rental properties without a will. It's not a conversation, it's a reality show waiting to happen. I tried talking to him about it once. I sat him down and told him the truth, that watching him live the way he does has been one of the biggest lessons of my life. The way he serves people. The way he found a balance between running a business and being a blessing to everyone around him. The way he never treated money as power but as responsibility. And after telling him all of that, I asked him for one thing. I said, "Dad, on the off chance something happens before the Lord returns, could you write things down? For me? For all of us?" I wasn't trying to challenge him. I wasn't trying to scare him. I was simply being honest about the weight I feel. Because I know exactly how bad things can get when a big family is forced to navigate an estate with zero guidance. Nobody ever thinks their family will fight. But grief has a way of stirring up every unspoken jealousy, every forgotten argument, every lingering tension. And when money enters the room, it gets 10 times worse. Someone once told me to ask my dad how he feels about the government, because apparently, without a will, he's basically hiring them to manage his estate. And when I told him that, he made a face like he di biteng. My dad is many things, but a fan of government run anything is not one of them. Still, none of that has convinced him. Maybe he's too used to being the strong one, the provider, the man in charge of everything he's ever built. Maybe the idea of not being here someday is too heavy. Maybe telling himself he'll never have to face that is easier than thinking about hospital beds and last breaths. And honestly, I get it. But I also know what Scripture says about wisdom, about stewardship, about preparing for tomorrow even when you can't see it coming. And if there's ever been a time for wisdom, it's now. Every time I look at my siblings, I think about what my dad always wanted. A united family. A close family. A family that stands together long after he's gone. And I can't shake the fear that, without a will, we're almost guaranteeing the opposite. Because the truth is, the moment he's not here to mediate, every little thing becomes a potential fracture. Every signature needed. Every decision delayed. Every whispered question of who gets what and why. All of it. Every last bit could break us. And I don't want my dad's legacy, this lifetime of serving, giving, building, loving, to end in chaos. I want peace, clarity, a plan. So maybe the only way forward is to try again. To tell him the truth again. To let him know that this isn't about doubting his faith. It's about protecting his family. Protecting everything he spent his life building. And maybe, just maybe, if he hears it enough, he'll realize that writing a will isn't admitting defeat. It's one final act of stewardship. One more way of taking care of the people he loves, right here on Earth, while he still has the chance.